Imagine a world where 1/3 of the entire population vanished in just a few years. It's not the plot of a disaster movie. It's the real story of the Black Death in the 14th century. This wasn't just a catastrophe. It was a turning point that, in a strange and brutal way, helped give birth to the modern world we know today. Let's explore how a single bacterium, Yersinia pestis, brought an entire continent to its knees and then lifted it up in ways no one could have imagined. The year is 1347. Flea-infested rats on merchant ships bring an unseen killer to Europe. The Black Death spreads like wildfire, and within 5 years, an estimated 25 million people are gone. The devastation was absolute. Fields lay fallow, villages were abandoned, and the European economy ground to a halt. Trade routes that once brought silks and spices now brought only death and despair. The world as they knew it had simply stopped. In the face of such overwhelming loss, faith itself began to crack. People prayed, they fasted, they flocked to churches, but the plague raged on, indiscriminate. It took the pious and the sinner, the rich and the poor. This led many to question the Church's authority and God's plan. New, more personal forms of piety emerged as people sought a direct connection with the divine. A trend that would later fuel movements like the Protestant Reformation. Fear didn't just reshape faith, it reshaped society from the ground up. Before the plague, Europe was overpopulated and a vast peasant class was tied to the land, working for feudal lords with little hope for advancement. But with so many workers gone, a massive labor shortage occurred. Suddenly, the tables had turned. For the first time, peasants and laborers had bargaining power. They could demand higher wages, better conditions, and more freedom. Many left their feudal manors for towns and cities, seeking new opportunities. This seismic shift weakened the old feudal system and laid the groundwork for a new, more mobile working class and the rise of a market-based economy. The rigid social structure that had defined Europe for centuries began to crumble. Art and culture also underwent a profound transformation. Confronted with death on an unprecedented scale, society became obsessed with mortality. The Danse Macabre, or Dance of Death, became a common artistic theme, depicting skeletons leading people from all walks of life, popes, kings and commoners, to their graves. It was a stark reminder that death is the ultimate equalizer. Literature, too, reflected this new, grim reality. Writers like Giovanni Boccaccio, in his famous work The Decameron, captured the chaos, fear, and even the dark humor of life during the plague. This focus on the human experience, rather than purely religious themes, was a hallmark of the emerging Renaissance. So, what can this 700-year-old pandemic teach us today? The echoes are uncanny. We've seen how a global health crisis can halt economies, strain our institutions, and force us to confront our own mortality. The Black Death showed us that in the wake of immense tragedy, there is also the potential for incredible change. It accelerated shifts in labor, faith, and culture, ultimately paving the way for the Renaissance and the modern era. It's a powerful lesson in human resilience and our ability to rebuild, adapt, and even innovate from the ashes of disaster. The world stood still, but when it started moving again, it was on a path to a completely new future. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into the past insightful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration of history's biggest turning points. See you next time.